Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. We do have the Beard of Respect with us right as we speak. I can see him in the green room. Jason even got metal in his eye removed, so he can't see anything. I'm just joking, guys, but he was just telling us stories in the green room, and that was crazy. But anyway, I wanted to stop and tell everyone hi first before we get started and introduce them because you guys all know them and hear and respect them and love what they do. But I figured I would just kind of do an introduction with them first. But let me see. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Just want to make sure. Ever since that 5 minutes, guys, I would talk for 5 minutes straight without anyone knowing. But what's up, Mr. John? Hope you're doing well, Mr. Santa. Thank you so much. Bear to respect. They're right there. That's probably Scott. What's up, Becky? Hope you're doing well. You should join. You should join Scott. I'm just telling you right now, Mr. Viking Papa. What's up, man? Michael H. And Garrett, unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to have his little puppy for you. What's up, Toll Booth Willie, Mr. JP? What's up, Brandon? Hope you're doing well. Mr. Dino, Brant, Jordan, Miguel. We call him Miguelecito. What's up, Mike? And JP. So, guys, I'm not going to waste your guys' time right now. We all come to talk to the Bearded Respect. I love these guys. They're humble. They're kind. They're just overall just really, really good people that would do anything to help you. So with that being said, I'm going to do a little video and then they will be on screen with me. Here we go.
Hey there, amazing folks. At Copper Lodge, we believe that true connections are built on understanding and shared experiences. That's why we're beyond excited to launch our series of intimate interviews with community members like you. We're here to root for you, cheer you on, and celebrate your unique story. Whether you're a longtime community member, a business owner, an artist, or just someone with an interesting perspective, we want to hear from you and share your incredible journey. Our interviews are all about showcasing the vibrant tapestry of our community and highlighting the amazing individuals who call Copper John's home. By sharing your stories, we believe we can inspire and connect with each other on a deeper level. So, if you're interested in being interviewed or know someone who would be a perfect fit, give us a shout at info@copperjohnsbeard.com. We can't wait to hear from you and share your story with the world. Join us at Copper Lodge, where community shines brighter together.
You were too late. There you go. What's up, everyone? How are you three doing tonight?
Good.
Doing great.
So, John or Jason, do you want to tell everyone why you're not your home right now?
Oh, I'm in my home, but I'm down in the basement, not in my normal streaming location.
Okay.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing as Thursday night. We've had the grandson for 4 days, and he sleeps up where my normal streaming room is. So I come down here because this is his bedtime.
That's awesome. With my family, it's like the louder we could be when the kids were sleeping, the best, because then they just learn to deal with it. Because I don't know, I have to have box fans because my family's so loud. But why don't we just get started? So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your background? Because three of you are all from different parts of the United States, and then what led you guys to create and start the Beard of Respect? So, Mike, you want to go first?
Well, sure. I'm the latest addition to the Bearded Respect, which is actually 2 years ago. I joined the Bearded Respect. Jason and Scott already had it going. But my background, I'm a Army veteran. I work in healthcare. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I've had a beard ever since getting out of the Army. It's kind of the freedom beard, you know. But it wasn't until, I guess, 2012 I started using products, but I just used like whatever was on Amazon and Grave Before Shave. And then it wasn't until like 2019 where I kind of got into the bearded community and started following everyone. and getting to know everyone. And then when was it, 2022, we had the Copper John's retreat,
Which
and
was
that's
so much
where
fun.
which was amazing. And I was so grateful to be invited to it. And I met Scott and Jason in Denver, and we drove to Jackson Hole and got to know each other on the way. It's a long drive. And so we really got to know each other, and just became great friends.
That's awesome. Jason?
Well, I did move out of this state, but I've pretty much lived in this area my whole life. Blue collar worker. We have a family business, metal fabricating and welding. I got in, as far as the beard goes, I've been growing a beard since I was 16. Had the old chin strap, because of
You had a
my old,
chin strap?
my old
We have
gym
to have pictures,
teacher,
man.
well, like my old gym teacher used to call it the summer beard because it's some hair there, some hair here. But yeah, so it was pretty much, I mean, yeah, I didn't have much on my cheeks, and I've had a beard of some sort, summertime I used to just shave it down to just a goatee or the circle beard. But I maybe went bald face maybe a handful of times throughout the years, but it was like one time, and I didn't shave more than once just to let it grow back. And then probably about in my early 30s, I decided to quit with the circle beard because I got tired of shaving that too. So, but it was probably about 3 years ago. I always say I kept it short, but it's been about 3 or 4 years ago when I got into the community and tried letting it grow, and it went wild. And then, of course, found DNC and found it, heat plus tension equals direction, and just a rabbit hole. You go down a rabbit hole, but yeah, so I've been letting it grow for about 3 years now, and get the once in a while trims, clean it up a little bit, but and then yeah, me and Scott kind of got together first, like Michael said, because we were both, well, here's what started my YouTube journey was the Copper Lodge.
Yeah, I
Because
remember.
you wanted me on here, and I was nervous as all get out. And that's when Ken Sconson was content coach Ken. So, and he was letting people come on and get familiar. So I talked to Ken. He said, yeah, come on, so I could kind of get familiar, because you're always nervous. You think your voice you sound like a dipstick. And so
I
I
never
went
watched my
on.
replays ever because I don't
Yeah.
like hearing what I sound like.
Yeah. So I went on there and, kind of got the feel for it so I could be on the Copper Lodge way back then. And, then I did a couple IG lives on my own and stuff, and then went back on Ken's show because he was having a hard time for people stepping up and coming on his show. So I went back on for him, and to kind of talk about my experiences and where things were going. And Scott was on there, and he had asked Scott how, because Scott wanted to start a channel, and he asked Scott how things were going. He goes, kind of looking for a partner. So I talked to my wife, and she goes, I don't care. So then I reached out to Scott, and I says, I'll do it with you. So that's kind of how we started. And, and then Mike came on. Mike, yeah, when we met Mike at the retreat, and yeah, spent 8 hours with a mass murderer. That's the joke my wife said when I said, when we contacted each other and stuff, and she goes, well, what if he's a serial killer? And I just laughed. I said, what's the chances of two serial killers being in the same car together? But anyway, so yeah, so we hit it off. We clicked, and it's been history ever since.
No, I remember your guys' first episode. I was laughing so hard because wasn't it just a bunch of dad jokes?
A lot of it was, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard because I'm like, this is hilarious. Like I am enjoying this way too much. But I do have there's a couple people. So he just JP goes, what if the chin strap beard makes a comeback like an awful mullet did a few years ago? You should make that happen. And then
No way.
Garrett and Melissa want to know how Clementine is.
Oh, Clemmy's doing good. She's a real good girl. She's real calm, and it's funny when we have them both outside. She's older, of course, and she goes outside even though it's hot out. She's smart, She just lumbers. Gus, when I take him outside, he's 100 mile an hour everywhere he goes, and in 5 minutes he's going to die. So he's coming back in the house so he can lay down and cool off. But yeah, Clemmy does pretty good. But yeah, Gus, he's still just a youngin, so he's got to, just like the old joke that I'm not going to say here, but about the old bull and the young bull. If you guys know that joke, but that's all I'm going to say about it. If you
Yeah,
don't,
like
I'll tell you guys in the green room after the show. But
I'm not old enough to know that joke.
it's not a family friendly joke, so I'm not going to say it here. But
Must be
some of you guys probably, yeah, some of these guys probably know the joke though. The young bull and the old bull.
Well, Scott, the question goes to you. So tell us a little about your background and what made you start the Beard of Respect with Jason.
Um,
And
I
then
don't
what
know.
made you want to add Michael?
What made us want to add Mike? I'll start there. We just had a connection, and it seemed to work. We had him on the show one week, and after the trip, and then I asked Jason, "What do you think about us adding Michael to the show?" And he was all for it. So it seemed like it was a done deal. Then we asked him to join us, and it's been great ever since.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It just seemed like it was something that was
But a
meant to
little
be.
bit about your background and why you started Beard of Respect.
Well, my background, I've worked in manufacturing for years, but I'm now a estimator for the last 6 years for a machine shop. I am also the secretary of the Wisconsin chapter of the International Beard Alliance. And married to Mrs. Brew City.
She's a nice lady too.
Yeah, she is. She's great. Hi, honey. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole. I had like goatees for years. I would normally grow them over the winter and come spring, shave them off, and then grow back in the fall again. And I met Becky, and she was telling me to try out the full beard. So she talked me into that, and then she got me my first products.
And little did she know what a rabbit hole she
Christmas.
was down.
Yeah. And I went down the hole. Well, first I found Ken. He was bluegrass bearded back then. Back in when he was in the earlier days. And I found him, and then I saw this. It seemed like the most wildest giveaway thing when I first saw it, with all the number picking, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I remember those days.
And then I found Dan C and went down that whole rabbit hole, and then I always, just because of the positivity and everything, wanted to start a channel. I spent a lot of time watching him, so it just seemed like a normal jump. And then both me and Jason were on a Ken stream the same night and just connected up there. We were also on a Ferocious's live stream
Hmm.
back then. Just seemed like a good fit at the time, and we got to go on this great trip with Michael across Wyoming. I just felt like we made friends for life, kind of deal. And it was great when we went on the retreat and we got to this place called, I believe it's the Bird,
Yes,
Hmm.
I remember it.
and met everyone on the retreat there. It
They
was
didn't
like,
have enough room for us all sitting at one table.
yeah, it was like we knew each other for years. Just amazing camaraderie and a lot of fun times.
Yeah, it was really fun. Well, how about this? So, where did the name Bearded Respect come from? And truthfully, you three, what does a bearded respect mean to you guys? Like,
I'll let Scott. I'll let Scott take this one. Go ahead, Scott.
We were
As far as
going around with names and we couldn't decide on anything. And I just kind of threw the bearded respect out there because it was, to me, respect was something that was drilled in my head as a young kid from my father. Um, he was just adamant that you needed to have respect and give respect to get respect. And so I just kind of threw out the bearded respect. And it was the only name that seemed to speak to us, really, out of
good
the
name.
list we had. And we thought it was a good thing because we were looking to get, just starting out a show, looking to get the community's respect. And we were also looking to give respect to the beard companies and everything. So the name just seemed to fit.
Nice. And what about you two? What is that? What does bearded respect mean to you guys?
go ahead, Mike.
So to me, it even goes beyond the beard community, because a lot of times, or a few times, we'll bring people on the show that have a beard but are not in the beard community, like they're a coffee company owner, or they're raising money for veterans or other things. And it's just kind of like highlighting that person who happens to have a beard or some sort of facial hair, or maybe not even a beard, but we just kind of like want to showcase people that are doing good in the world. And the beard respect, we just try to give that respect to everyone and just try to get their name out there. One thing I want to add to when Scott was saying, he had me on the show after the Copper Johns retreat. When we were driving, I think it was when we were driving back, I was kind of like, like kind of asking more about the bearded respect and like where the name came from. And honestly, and I don't think I ever told these guys this, but I was like kind of hoping they would ask, like, "Hey, do you want to come on our show, be a co-host?" I didn't ask, and then they asked me, and it just made my day. So
I thought you were going to tell me that's when you realized that when Jason came out in the open and said, "I don't wear underwear."
yeah,
Was that the time when he said that? Because did he tell you
Well,
guys, like,
well,
I'm wearing underwear out of respect for you guys? Didn't he say that?
yes, he did.
yeah. I went and bought underwear for the trip.
Because Jason and I were
Yeah.
roommates, and he did that
Yeah.
for me.
Nice.
So I totally
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's like the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, what? Just makes me happy. Anyway, what about you, Jason? Michael's
Yeah,
always
it's
good, Scott too.
yeah. I mean, just to reiterate what both the other guys said. I mean, we want to have people on to show them respect because we respect what they do, we respect who they are, and respect everything they do about the community. But like Michael said, we've had coffee companies on, we've had photographers on, you know, we have other people. I mean, and veterans, unfortunately, I'm not a veteran, but these other two guys are, and I respect the hell out of that. And even today, I think, what if I would have went into service? I always think, but hindsight's 2020, you know. But we respect, if we find somebody that we respect what they're doing for the bearded community, for the veteran community, for any community, we'd like to invite them on. And if they have a beard, that's a plus. Just like we had Joel and Garrett on. Not, yeah, Garrett, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Joel and Garrett from The Amazing Race. Now Joel, he's bearded. Garrett's Mr. Mustachio. Uh, but they were on The Amazing Race. But Joel also has, what is it now, 12 or 13 Guinness World Records
Yeah.
for putting things in his beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that and they're great guys. They were great to talk to, great to have on the show. We had Joel on the show once, and then after the Amazing Race, we had them both on. Amazing people, just down to earth. I mean, to us, they're celebrities, but for them, they're normal, everyday people, just like you or I. And so, yeah, we just, when there's good going on in the world, we respect it. So we want to try to honor it, and you know, and we hope that we're getting some respect ourselves. You know,
Absolutely. Well, that's
so
one thing about you three that I really like is that you're all very similar when it comes to. I keep going back to it. It's like you guys are extremely humble. You're extremely kind, and there's not a lot of people out there like you who do that. And so it's really, really cool to see you guys in person and see you guys on a weekly. Like I hardly ever get to have the opportunity because you guys start at 7 my time, and that's usually my family time. And so it's really, really hard for me to escape. And so I always watch it. Like I watched this last week or this week, and it was really, really good. You guys are always just really good people, and so I think it's. So let me ask you this. So I know you guys kind of told me what the Beard of Respect means to you. Is there a mission, or is there some sort of goal for the Beard of Respect?
uh, we never discussed it, but I would say our goal is to bring awareness, you know, to the community, because a lot of people, a lot of companies we have on too are companies that are small. Like we'll do, I mean, companies that aren't doesn't that don't have as big a presence as some, just to get their name out there so other people can see that there's a plethora of companies out there, and it's hard to keep up, and it's hard to buy everything from everybody. But yeah, it's I mean, that's kind of seems like our goal is to just bring awareness. But then on the other hand, like when we have a content creator on or a veteran on, and you know, it's just to provide positivity to the community, I guess would be our goal.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything to add to that? When there's 3 of you guys, I just want to give you guys the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think our goal is just to get everyone else's story out there. You know, introduce new people to the community, get their story out there, and yeah,
So we have
have
similar
fun with
goals.
it. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. I guess our emphasis basically when we started was more to talk to all these great people. Once we started interviewing people, it's just interesting to talk to different people from different sides of the country and just get their opinions on stuff, and um, not just companies but just individuals in general. Just meeting people from all walks of life, and it just became interesting. And we did do the one big charity event. We want to do more stuff similar to that in the future. We're just trying to figure that all out yet.
Yeah, that's cool. You guys, yeah, that's really cool. I do have a question for you from he goes, will Jason be against wearing a Speedo?
Yes, he will. He will be against them.
Well, Speedo's like swimming trunks. I mean,
Yeah.
no to swimming trunks too. It's
Oh, I
skinny
wear
dip?
swimming. I wear well skinny dipping's in a different private manner, but speedo no. Swimming trunks, yeah, regular swimming trunks that are like Schwartz, you know.
See, he says Schwartz. He says
I
Schwartz.
said it on
Everyone heard it.
purpose. I said it on
Uh-huh.
purpose.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, swimming trunks that are like shorts, yeah, I wear them. They got the liner in it, but yeah, and like underwear, I don't wear like the I don't know what they'd call them, the speedo looking type underwear. That's not my flavor either. So the bikini briefs or whatever, those aren't for me either.
G-string.
No.
So what challenge have you guys faced since you started running the show? Like, what have you faced any problems, faced any issues, anything like that you guys have done and overcome?
We did have a challenge for a couple of weeks with a new streaming format.
Yeah.
That was pretty painful.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, we kind of get in a kind of like a temporary rut where it's hard to find guests. But
yeah.
usually it's pretty brief. Like Scott's like Lotus is up for the summer, so we haven't had any challenges this summer.
You guys
but,
always have guests.
Yeah.
And they're good ones too. It's
That's
really
the way
fun
it
to see.
seems. And then sometimes we'll have them cancel at the last minute.
Yeah.
Like, now what do we do?
Then we just have a community night. But yeah, we've been super blessed lately. Like Michael said, Scott went all out, and yeah, we've got some really great guests. And I think we're gaining respect because we're what, like we just did episode 161, right?
No, 132.
Oh, 132.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought we were in the 160s. Anyhow, so we've been on for a while, so I think people are taking a chance with us, and they're willing to come on. I mean, and some tough things are like people in different time zones. It can be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why we went to the later 9 p.m. Eastern, so we could try and catch some of those guys on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So what are some of the funniest things that you guys have ever had? Jason, you go first, then answer that.
The funniest thing,
funny or most unexpected moments during the show, because we don't always hear everything. We don't not all of us watch and listen, but sometimes we don't catch an episode, so we might not know. Like, what are some of the funniest things that you're just like, dude, that was hilarious?
Well, there's a lot of things I do that I don't think are funny, but it cracks you guys up. So I don't know.
This is true.
For me, the funniest moments are always when we have Tyson on the show.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Also, the Chris Perez episode was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Chris Perez is a good dude. Mike, what is your favorite roast of coffee, and why is it dark roast?
Because dark roast is the best tasting, in my opinion. It has the most flavor. It smells the best. And it's less caffeinated than other roast. That means I can drink more of it.
Coffee does smell good. I will give you that. Funniest thing to them is Clementine snoring.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And a squeaky chair.
Yeah.
I don't have a squeaky one tonight. I'm in a recliner. So.
Jason the dog pooping story was a scream.
Oh, the one with the weed eater. Yeah. Yeah. Gus has a fenced in area that well, like even this evening, I took some garbage out we got a little dumpster. So I let him come on the garbage runs with me, and then he goes off into the woods, and then I got to fight with him to come back. But yeah, normally he's got a little fenced in area because he'll just take off and wander. So he goes out there and pee and poop, and yeah, it's grass, so I can't get the mower in there to mow it, so I got to weed eat it. And yeah, I had some flying. I had some dog poop flying from the weed eater. So yeah, that was pretty funny.
What is Jason's favorite roast?
My favorite roast? I'm going to say pork roast.
Yeah, pig roast, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about coffee, but pork roast.
Oh, that no! I'm talking about pork roast in the crock pot. You know, sauerkraut and pork and kibasi and hot dogs.
Dude, that
Yeah,
actually sounds really good.
yeah. But no, yeah, my coffee roast. No.
So Garrett's favorite is I like when Jason's in charge of the comments and he is way behind and starts staring at the screen and everyone is waiting for him to catch up.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You like that? I thought this last week was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Last because I was doing it on my phone and I'm trying to scroll and without hitting the end stream button and things like that. And yeah,
that end stream button's huge, isn't it?
yeah.
Hey, I've ended a stream before on accident. Like
Me too.
I'm just like it happens, man.
Me too.
You only just do it once and then you're like, oh, suck.
Yeah.
But it happens. But you guys all come from different backgrounds. Literally, like different states, different backgrounds, different traditions, different beliefs, and all that kind of stuff. However, you guys really do well together. How has your different backgrounds really played a role in your show? Has it? Does it? Does it help with your guys' content, your perspective of the show? What does that do for you guys?
As far, I mean, yeah, we have different backgrounds, but like Mike and Scott, they were both in the military. Me and Scott are both kind of in fabricating, manufacturing. Uh, the thing that brought us together, I think, is our values. You know, we share the same values. So I, I don't know. As far as how it benefits our show, and I think we're just like-minded people, and we
Mhm.
appreciate each other. So
I know I'm asking different questions, but that's why I'm asking is because, like,
yeah,
we know who you guys are. Now let's just ask, like, hey, what's that?
I think what makes the show work is because of our different backgrounds. Like we
So do
each
I.
have our unique feature. Jason is an amazing storyteller, and
He's like my wife. Just get to the point.
Scott like is all the technical stuff. Like he does all our
Yeah,
videos
oh.
for us. He like sets everything up. Like he works hours on it, and I'm so grateful for it because I can't do all the stuff that he does. Like I probably learn, but I just don't have the time. Myself, I talk to people on a daily basis in my job, so I feel like I do well interviewing people. You know, like I do well talking to people. So I think each of us have that like skill set behind us that kind of adds
like
and brings us together. You know, but like Jason said, like the values too. Like we similar values and similar. You know, we're around the same age too, even though I'm the youngest. Just to make it clear, I am the youngest.
I'm the oldest.
We're around the same age.
Give or take 30 years.
And what's funny too, you talk about my storytelling. It's true, I guess, but I'm kind of introvert. I'm an introvert. You know, I'd rather stay home and you know, I don't like crowds. I don't interact with people, but when I get on the show and when I get with like you, Tyson, I mean, yeah, I can talk because I feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and this community, it's one of the greatest communities I've ever known. So I feel comfortable. So yeah, it's like if I get out somewhere, I don't talk. Like if we go to parties or something and I don't know people, I just sit there and I'm like a bump on a log. Like a lot of our shows, I'll just sit there because we let the guests talk. But yeah, if you get me rolling, it's
Oh yeah.
all over. You know.
Actually, you should hear Jason after the show. He probably does more talking than he does on the
Before
show.
and after. Before and after,
Yeah.
he's like, you can't get a word in.
So I will ask you, Mike, do you not wear shorts around Scott because you're intimidated by his calves? Holy crap, his calves are huge. That's what Becky really liked about Scott at the beginning. She just wanted to grab the calves.
Yeah.
That's not what she told me.
All right, so Marvin, we got a couple of questions from the stream. So, how long are your beards, and how long have you been growing them?
I
Oh,
don't
mine
know
is-
how long mine is. I just had it trimmed.
Okay, I keep my beard short.
Mine was pretty handy, 11 inches, and I just had my trimmed, and I haven't measured it, but I'd say it's still probably a good 7, 8 inches. And at this point, it's been growing about 3 years. Uh, but like I said earlier, I've had some sort of facial hair since I was 16.
That's cool. Even if it was just a little strap.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah,
Scott?
currently mine is at
Mike, sorry.
currently mine's at 12 inches. It was at 14 about a month ago. I trimmed it. But yeah,
Did you just compete? What did you compete in?
yeah, it was the Rocky Mountain Beard and Mustache competition. So I was in the 6 to 12.
Okay.
What's that?
6 to 12.
Yeah, 6 to 12, because when I enter the 12 and above, I mean, it's different for each competition I go to. There's a little bit of strategy. Like in nationals, I did 12 and over, but groomed, and I won second place at nationals. But I knew for this one, there's going to be a lot of long beards, and it's 12 and over. So there's not like a 12 to 18. It's 12 and whatever. So it could be 3 feet long. And so I trimmed it down to 12 inches to be in the 6 to 12, and got second place there.
Yeah, you have a really nice beard. Well, so does Jason and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Scott, how long you been growing, and how long is your beard?
Been growing this beard about 4 years. It's been trimmed a few times. I think it's about probably 6 to 7 inches currently.
And how long has Becky known you without a beard before you start growing?
I don't know if she's ever saw my chin.
Oh, really?
I had a goatee when we started going out, and it's been growing at some form since.
All right. Yeah, I think Candace has never known me without facial hair either. Interesting how that works.
Yeah, same as my wife. My wife has never seen my chin, and we'll be married 13 years. Well, we've been together 19 years, 20
nice.
years. So, yeah, she's never seen my chin. I told her she never will either. Unless I die and she shaves it off, which I don't think she'll do.
All right. So, JP asks, what are each of your favorite Copper John scent profiles? Because you do have quite a bit of them. I know all three of you do.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go first. I have been missing out on a lot of the monthly ones. I admit, because I have so many, and my wife, what'd you get now? What'd you get now?
Well,
but
then you also, what you guys do, when you have people on, sometimes the companies will send you stuff and all that kind of stuff, which rightfully so. So I'm not stressed that you don't have everything.
Yeah.
Like Jason, we're no longer friends.
Yeah. But I mean, one of my old, originally when it was the regular line and gray line was definitely better for me, which I'm glad everything's just that blend now. But Polies is my old standby. I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
Polish is good.
Yeah, I
My
mean,
grandpa.
although I really enjoyed, uh, what was it, Christmas Village?
Uh-huh.
Christmas Village, yeah, I like that one. Yeah,
And you would like the revitalizing hair serum, the peppermint one.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was nice.
So Mike and then Scott. Sorry, that's his question. I wasn't going to ask anything about me.
Yeah, I would agree with Polies. Mountain River
Ooh, Mountain River's good.
and Barbershop. Those are my top three that I really enjoy.
Mine's probably going to be one that a lot of people hate on. Bourbon Bayou.
It's a love or hate, but
Yeah.
most people love it.
Yeah, that one. Polies is always a favorite of mine, and Christmas Villages too. But
Oh dang!
Winnebago scent kind of surprised me, and I like that one as well.
I don't even remember what Lake Winnebago was in it.
I can't think off the top of my head, but it's a very clean scent, and I can see Lake Winnebago being like that.
What piece of advice would you give? So this is JP. What piece of advice would each of you give to a new beardsman? Good question, JP. Mike, we'll start with you.
I would say definitely oil and beard wash to start with for as a new beardsman, and then go to oil and balm as your beard gets a little bit longer, and then as it gets longer, add in that butter.
Facts.
No balm.
What?
No balm.
No, I said that. I said
Yeah.
oil and wash to begin with. As it gets a little bit longer, the balm to kind of hold it down as you're trying to train it to go down.
Seriously,
And
Michael is really the only reason why I have balm, because he bugged me a million times.
I've influenced a couple of companies to get balm.
Well, his three product approach, it works, especially in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems to help. My big thing would be number one to just let it grow. A lot of new beardsmen, they I think they try and chop it down too soon, and just see what's going to happen. Sometimes a lot of those patchy areas will fill themselves in. And just make sure you use good products.
Jason?
My first word would be patience. Patience, young grasshopper. You gotta have patience. That's the biggest thing. And then, along with what Michael said, a good wash and a good oil. You know, to stay away from the Walmart stuff, the Target stuff. You know, but yeah, and then start watching guys like Dan C if you got any questions. You know, I mean, he's the bearded teacher for a reason. You know, he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's willing to part with the knowledge and let everybody know the best methods. And I mean, what works for general people. You know, now he does have his favorites, but in his methods, but they don't suit everybody. So you got to take his advice and try it. And if it don't work for you, be willing to try other things. You know, because everybody's beard's different. But yeah, first thing I would say is patience, and then products.
So you guys, one thing that I've noticed, you guys are very, very methodical on your questions. Like, you guys come up with questions beforehand, you prepare all that kind of stuff. So how do you guys prepare for interviews to ensure that they're like insightful, they're respectful? It feels like you guys like know the people before they get on, even if you've never met them or talked to them before.
I mean, we have a little bit of conversation before just through DMs, but as far as planning, we don't. Aside from, I mean, I have my 5 questions just to kind of ice break, and then we just kind of go from there. You know,
Okay.
we just kind of let it develop.
Yeah,
Like I said,
it's
Scott does
all
all
it's
the planning with the videos and all that stuff, so he probably has more of a relationship with our guests because of just planning that, like getting that together. But
his slideshows and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty much flying by the seat of our pants. I mean, and that's what we tell everybody. We are a laid back show.
you
There's
are
no
very laid back,
script.
and I like that.
Yeah, there's no script. We're just to put it bluntly, we just like to shoot the shit.
hmm
Great. Now I have to. I'm just joking. You're fine. Now I have to keep it private. No, I'm joking. Okay, so you guys. How do I put this? You guys, I would imagine, have changed people's, not necessarily lives per se, but I think you've definitely changed people's perspectives on beard care and on people. And how has having the podcast changed your guys' perspectives and your guys' views? Because sometimes you'll have a guest on, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is out there." That's serious. Like, I've heard some people. I'm like, "Whoa, this is like way out there. I never thought about that before. Is this guy crazy or is this legit?" I've had some of those episodes before with you guys. So, with that being said, how has that changed your views and perspectives, and or anything like that? You guys know who I'm talking about. You have to know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, we just try and go with the flow and make everything work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Some people have strong opinions about stuff.
But has it changed your views? Has it changed your perspectives in the positive? Like, have you learned to be more patient, more loving, more kind? Like, how has this helped you?
I think it just helped us grow as people. We're just able, I think, to connect better to other people. You spend time talking with a lot of people. You tend to connect, especially with a lot of these great company owners we've had on. We were able to make a connection with, and it really, I think, helped us personally. And I'm just a patient guy to begin with, so I just tend to try and let everything keep at an even keel and um, just take things as they come.
Yeah. I noticed that at Jackson Hole and stuff in Yellowstone. Like, you just kind of went with the flow, and I'm trying to make everyone happy. And I'm like,
You
I don't
can't.
know what to do. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of my earlier years trying to just make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. It's not going to happen.
I'd say
No.
Tyson, you were the most stressed person there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you and Casey, but
Yeah.
maybe Casey was more. But
no, yeah, he was.
you
And
guys
Cruz was too.
you definitely made the effort to interact with all of us, and it was
Yes.
greatly appreciated. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think every one of us enjoyed it.
Yeah, I always wear. I'm like, I need to make sure that they know they're loved, that they're cared for, that I appreciate them. And so, and then when we're all just chaotic in different cars and everyone wants to do one little thing differently, it's just like, I can only do what I can do.
Yeah.
And then of
Yeah.
course I
Yeah.
have to be sarcastic with you, just kind of,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
But I'm
That's
not.
only because
I
I
do
love you.
feel bad that Jason and Scott did not go on the Whitewater Rapids with us.
Well,
That's
but that was our fault. That was our fault. We should have booked it. Uh, and
But that was
then we
legit
thought.
fun. That's why I make fun of Mike all the time because he was wearing pants in a river. I'm like, what the freak are you doing?
As far as changing my life, I'm the same person. But as far as patience, I've learned patience a long time ago. Having 5 girls is where I learned my patience. But what I have also got out of this, which isn't necessarily the show's doing, it's this community's doing, is I and I wouldn't call it compassion. I don't know what I'd want to call it, but kindness, just general kindness and being nice to people and having a healthy attitude towards people, and it's this community. It's made me better that way.
I agree.
So,
I like that. I like that a lot. Chris wants to ask you, Jason, to tell the story about the time he won the pudding wrestling trophy.
I didn't win a pudding wrestling trophy.
I
I
figured
never
as much.
participated.
All right.
Yeah.
So, how do I put this? I know for a fact Michael is really big on this, and I believe you two are too. But prioritizing mental health, how has that influenced your guys' personal, professional lives, and how do you maintain a balance between the bit of respect, your Michael with your channel too, with all your social media presence, and then also just with your family? Like, how do you prioritize your mental health, or do you? And if not, we're in a fight.
Well, if I can, I'll answer this one first. I work in mental health,
I know that's why I know
and
it's important to you.
and for myself, I separate myself from that through the bearded community and talking about coffee. I mean, it's my self-care to kind of, because my job's pretty stressful. I work with patients, and for my own mental health, this is what helps me is the bearded community and talking about coffee and social media. It's just that break away from my job, which is very important. Like, my job is very important. I love my
Oh yeah.
job, but just for my own sanity, I have to separate myself from it from time to time.
No, you have to. Like my therapist, I'm like, dude, after talking to me, I'm like, you must have a therapist too. Like, because it's hard for you guys, what you guys go through on a daily basis and what you hear and what you see and what you feel, to disassociate yourself with that. Because I mean,
Mhm.
like, you're human, you're going to feel what they feel, you're going to see what they, and that's hard. So
Mhm.
I know that I'm glad that you have this to be able to take time away.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. On a side note, Mike, when you're in Utah on a Saturday, let me know. And I really think it would be really nice to have you on Dad Bods.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So
That would be awesome.
we'll have it's at the studios in Orem, right by UVU, Utah Valley, and so it's just right up. But dead serious, because you know how we are all about that. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I would love to talk to you guys about it and throw in a haircut, and I'm there.
the haircut's about an hour and a half away. So, but you got it, man. I would love to have you. We'll film you too. But what about you, Jason and Scott?
Go ahead, Scott.
I don't know. Mental health has always been a big deal to me. And as far as my health, I mean, personally, there's just sometimes I have to even disconnect from like social media. Like sometimes on the weekends, I'll just try and leave it alone. Um, Maybe I miss a few live streams here or there, but I can't. You can't do everything. Um, but for me, I grew up with a parent who suffered from schizophrenia,
Hmm.
and me and my sister were put in foster care and stuff because of that. So mental health was a very big deal to me. I was always paying attention to it, um, and I've always worked on it. And I've I've even talked to people who do what Mike does. So I've seen it from both ends of the spectrum, and um, I have a wife who's also been great. She's the one who keeps me grounded all the time, and she kind of works in that field as well. Um, so it's just great to have all these outlets, and me finding
You
the
have
bearded
to have
community.
those outlets, man. You have to have
Yeah,
them.
me finding the bearded community helped a lot. Um, don't discount these beard clubs. A lot of times, you're able to do more talking just to other guys that may be having the same problems through these clubs. My club, I've seen them personally help several guys who were very suicidal and got themselves in trouble with the law and were going through a lot of stuff. And they were able to help get them the right help they needed as well. So it's just been great being in their beard community and seeing all the mental health themed stuff that's out there.
Yeah. Well,
Brotherhood.
what's really really
Yeah.
cool is I really liked Educated's video. It was shared to me, and by my barber actually, and another person shared it with me. Was it one of you guys? I can't
It's
remember.
possible.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, about how the gentleman was going in for a haircut and he already knew he was going to,
For his
unalive
funeral.
himself. Yeah, for his funeral. And then the way he was taken care of and looked after at the barber shop. And no, actually, I sent it to my barber because this happened to us where there was a gentleman who suffered from PTSD, and so he was stressing, and so the barber was acknowledging this, like one of my barbers, and just turned the chair to face the door, and so then he was able to relax and everything because he could see what was going on. Simple things like that, if you pay attention, and like mental health is so important. And I really I like what you had to say. What about you, Jason?
Uh, I I'm so laid back. It doesn't seem like I have any problems. I mean, I I don't care who you are. There are going to be times at your job that you get frustrated.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
don't care what kind of job you have, or if it's the greatest job in the world, or if you make the most money you've ever made. You're going to have days when things don't go right, or you get tasked with a particular job that is frustrating. Like for my instance, we make products and things like that, but we also work kind of a custom shop. So we get a lot of farmers and truck drivers who bring things in to get repaired or remade, and they're rusted, they're smashed up, and it's like, how in the hell am I supposed to measure this to make a new one? And so, I mean, it can be stressful. And then, you know, if you're the boss, you're going to have mental issues. If you're an employee that has to listen to the boss who's frustrated because it's taken you this long to do it, or, you know, you screwed up and forgot to do something, or, you know, what relaxes me from at the end of the day is coming home and being with my family. And because now I'm in a good environment, I don't have that stress. And sometimes my wife gets mad at me because there'll be something going on, and I'm the kind of person that, like, everything's going to be fine, but she'll stress about stuff. Without getting political. Of course, everybody knows it's getting more expensive to live day by day now. Groceries and all that stuff. But yeah, she'll. Why don't you stress about? Because it'll work out. It'll work out. But yeah, the beard
Relationship
community.
need that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm with Scott. There's times I I have slacked off on certain live streams and social media. I don't get on as much as I used to, at a point in time, like being on Instagram was, I mean, of course, I'm following more people and more people are following me every day, but I'd be on Instagram and I'd scroll through posts and I'd like them and stuff. And I'd, I'd get to the point where it would say, okay, you're caught up. Not anymore. I don't sit there for an hour at a time anymore. I'll maybe do 20 minutes and catch some stories, catch some posts, and, maybe come back at another time. And then I try to do stuff in the evenings. And now the last few weeks I've been working on a deck, so I don't have a lot of time. Like yesterday, I was out working on the deck and I thought, you know what, I'm going to turn on Stubble and Style, because I can listen to it while I'm working. But
I appreciate that.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of a laid back guy. Things don't bother me too much. And I attribute that to the girls because when I said about learning patience, believe me, when I was younger in my throughout my 20s, I had a hot temper. I remember where I worked before compared to where I'm working now. There was one day I was running a CNC laser machine. I had a laser, and I forget what was going on, but I was getting frustrated. Something wasn't right, and I got so mad. It was near an overhead garage door in the shop, and I got so mad, and I turned around and I took my tape measure and I heaved it outside just because of my short temper. I never found. I don't know where it went. I had to go buy another tape measure. But anyway, having them girls taught me patience.
You said, Jason, I appreciate when you do
Yeah,
like my posts when you do see them.
yeah. I just it taught me patience, and I am way more. Now there are times. A couple weeks ago. Now my dad, he's retired, but he usually he's got a big diesel pusher motorhome, and he usually goes to Arizona. But he comes home in the summertime because now it's going to be hot as hell in Arizona. So he comes
So,
home. But
so hot.
anyway, I was down there. We have a customer that they deal with this Tyvar. It's like a plastic material. And we have to, and they have some Tyvar that we have to bend in a half a circle. And we have been so busy with this other company and some of the products we're making, it's been tying up the one press brake. So I had to do it in a different press brake. And I was getting so frustrated, especially when I first started and it wasn't working out. Because when you bend this stuff, we make these bands to slip on it to hold its shape because they'll just open back up. It's just plastic. So the first couple I bent, they weren't working out for me, and I was so frustrated. And my dad was down there, and without saying exactly what I said,
Thank you.
because we'd have to bleep it about every other word. Uh, yeah, I was frustrated, and I damn near threw my glasses because I was sweating the band and it was dripping. And I took them off. I almost threw them, but I thought I better not throw them. So I set them down and I'm telling him, and I'm tired of this and that, But yeah, I was frustrated that day. But by the end of the day, I got the job done and I come home and I was fine and dandy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, I like that because there's times where growing Candace is probably the most patient. Candace, my wife, is the most patient person I know, and she has taught me so much patience. And going through what I've gone through with my family over the past 4 or 5 years is really, really. It's just like, yeah. But now with Copper Johns, my anxiety level goes up again, and it goes down, and it goes up, and I'm really trying hard. And so, the mental health is really, really a big deal. Like when you say it's like, would it help if I worry? Like in my mind, I know worrying is not helping it,
yeah,
but I don't know how not to worry. And so I think that's a really good attribute that you have. Like that takes time, that takes talent. You have to rewire your brain in order for that to happen. Because for me, it's like my anxiety of like, how is this going to work? Like I know it's going to work. I'll figure it out. I always do. But I just freaking stress. And that's a
Hmm.
cool thing that you have, man. Good for you that you figured that out, because I don't swear. I say dumb words like fart, like, fart. But that's what happens when I have lots of kids. But have you guys ever talked about mental health on your show?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've had. I can't think of his name, Michael.
Danny Mayberry.
Danny. Yeah, Danny. He's been on a couple times.
Mhm.
What episode was
Yeah.
he on? I just want to go listen
He
to
was
it.
on a couple.
Yeah, but he does the 1 Mile One Veteran podcast.
Oh, okay, I remember that one.
And he's very open about his mental health struggles, and he's gone through a lot. But we've had a few others. Save Our Six a couple of years ago. Buck, the photographer, he's gone through some mental health things, and we don't focus that much on it, but we occasionally we do have some guests on that, and that's the subject.
No, I was just curious. That wasn't a question I was going to ask.
We'd like to focus more on that. It's just harder to line up the guests.
Well, and it's just, I mean, you're the bearded respect. You have a specific goal in mind. So now I do have a question for you. Well, but before I do that, it looks like I have one question here from Miles. Miles wants to know, what scent profiles do each of you prefer? What was your least favorite scent profiles? Now let's just talk. Let's don't talk about companies or anything like that. Let's just talk about scent profiles. So we're not ragging on anyone or anything like that. So what scent profiles do you prefer, and what is your least favorite?
Peppermint, barbershop are my favorites. Not together, but peppermint or barbershop.
Yeah, peppermint and barbershop would be weird.
Yeah. Least favorite would be floral.
Really? Even a light floral? I'm talking like Jason, been hanging out with him too much. Jason, what's your favorite and what the least favorite?
I like mint, but like I don't like eucalyptus because it reminds me of Vicks Vapor Rub too much.
And I
but
love
I do.
Rub.
But I like mint. And what's funny is I'm not a big fruit person, but I have gotten some scents lately that are, I'd say, more like tropical and that aren't bad. I do. I mean, and I always think I like dark scents, like dark oud, like a dark scent. But I also like light scents. I like barbershops as well. Uh, but I'm kind of all over. But
You sound like
like I
me.
said, I don't like eucalyptus. I'm not a patchouli fan, and not to ruffle any feathers. I'm not really into the woodsy. I mean, I like certain woodsy, but I'm not a big pine guy. I don't.
Okay.
I don't like smelling like the Christmas tree, like Chris Farley taking the Christmas trees and rubbing it on them. I'm not huge pine guy. But yeah, bourbon, tobacco. I like a tobacco. I'm not huge on fruit, but I do like a good apple. A good apple.
Good apple is really I like a good bourbon and apple put together.
Yeah,
really good.
Even peach. I know Scott's had some good peaches lately, and
we did peach. What did we do peach with? But it was freaking phenomenal. I had 3 different types of peaches in there. So good.
But see, I like fruit too. I like to eat fruit.
Yeah,
Like grapes and bananas and pears. Pears are like one of my favorite fruits. But yeah.
Pear's actually what's in Old Ephraim, and it's pear and tobacco. It's actually really good. I don't. I am a big guy that don't like scents that smell like food. Does floral also mean lavender, Mike?
No. When I say floral, I mean like it's like you walked into a flower shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I the florals that if I ever have like flowers in mine are usually like a rocked rose, which is a really earthy floral, and it really just complements whatever's with it. So
see, I
I'm
do
with
like
you on that.
earthy tone, and Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey mentioned it. Like if it's mixed well, I do like it, but there's some florals. There's a lot of
Oh,
florals.
100%. If it's the main note,
Yeah,
not for me either.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, what's yours?
I tend to go towards the darker scents, more the tobacco, leather, and just more earthy things like woodsy types. Um, yeah, lately, as Jason said, I've been on a peach kick lately. This summer, it seems like, but a lot of times I'm not very much into the food scents.
Mm-hmm.
But I just get on these. I'm interested in a certain scent for a while. But come winter, I'm a big peppermint fan.
Mike, this is for you. And I don't know Jason or Scott, but and no pressure, but Mike, I don't know if you saw this or not, but on the 7th, so it's next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, so 9 o'clock Eastern. That's what we're doing, and it's only for the members. And you've been a member since day one. Like I really do appreciate it, Mike. So I'm just having all the members come in and give me ideas. I'm going to go what? Going to have just the members only. Just like come help me make sense. So make sure that you're there, man.
okay.
It's just because I think it's fun. Ken helped me with Hawaii. Dan B helped me with Massachusetts. I can never say that word ever. And I've got help quite a bit. So what did we do? Riverwalk was with the members before, and so
Yeah, that was a good one.
Riverwalk was legit good.
Yeah.
Like the gunpowder, I'm like, how am I going to make this work with tequila and gunpowder and crap? I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know how you did that one, but
Dude, it was good. Gunpowder's strong, by the way. I
Yeah.
have no idea how strong gunpowder. It can easily overtake everything.
yeah, I've got one bottle that's got gunpowder in it, and it's very prevalent in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It can be really, really fast. Garrett hates the smell of Joanne fabrics. He says anything floral reminds him of that. Yeah, potpourri. That's whatever. I can't do potpourri. I like floral aquatic or a back note. That's fair. I'm all in about woodsy, earthy. That the people on Tuesday, the members, like John, like Brian, Melissa, Miles, Mike, all those guys will know. Lavender and leather have been on my mind lately. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Leather's hard for me because I don't know about you guys, but you guys all got COVID, right? Did you guys lose your sense of smell? Mike, you never got COVID?
I
Yeah,
had it once. I had it once, but I didn't.
I've
it
not
made
gotten it.
everything. It made everything stink. Like it got to the point where like Candace would be cooking, or my kids, I'd walk into the bathroom after they got done using the restroom, and everything smelled bad. Like it all smelled like poo. And so basically, it was the levels of intensity of poop, and then eventually that came it back to me. I'm like, oh, okay, this stinks. This doesn't stink. But leather, I never got leather back, and so I just it is what it is. All right. So next question. What advice would you give someone looking to start their own type of YouTube channel, YouTube show, anything like that? Because it seems like, I don't know, when you and I and all of us were starting out on YouTube, everyone had a show. There were multiple shows a day. We're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows a day, literally. And now we're lucky if we have 1 or 2. There's some days that there's nothing. And so I feel like people are they're starting to come back. People are starting to feel the community again. So what advice would you give those guys who are wanting to start their podcast, start their shows, something like that, their channels?
Scott.
You just gotta got to keep it structured. You got to keep it scheduled. If you put it off, it's not going to happen. It just isn't. You've just got to keep at it. It can be a grind at times. You're just like, oh, I don't want to do this week. But you start doing the show, and then you're like, why did I even think I shouldn't be doing this week? But you find the joy in it when you're doing the show. But it at times it can be a grind to do a weekly show. Like we do. You just trying to push through the times where you don't have enough ambition, and just keep going. Otherwise, you're going to just be another one of those shows that dies real quick.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize how much work it takes.
Right.
Like it's not just the time, but the work, and all that kind of stuff. And it does, like, well, I sent something to Logan the other day, because there are days where we're just like, what's hilarious. I'm sorry, I'm talking, and I should give you guys a chat time. But what's hilarious is Logan and I did a podcast where I just got back from the blocks and I was exhausted. And then Logan was super sick, but we had to do a show because we didn't have one, and neither of us wanted to be there. It ended up being one of our best shows, and my wife never compliments my shows. His wife never. They're just like, that was so good. It was so relatable. We could hear you. You guys were making sense, and I'm like, well, maybe we just need to be tired and sick, and we'll make a good show. But it really is a grind, and so I really like what you had to say. It's just like sometimes the ambition's not there, but it's just great. You have to keep going because you're not going to see growth without it.
Right.
Yeah, and my personal channel is kind of new, so I'm kind of like learning things as I go. But I feel like I've just started it simple. Like I'm keeping it simple, where I'm just making shorts and I'm doing lives. I'm not making videos. I'm not really constructing anything beforehand to post it. I'm just seeing where it goes. Just kind of commit to it, set a timeline. That would be my advice.
Do you feel that doing your show, The Beard of Respect, is more therapeutic for you than anything?
For me, yeah, absolutely.
Because I always tell Logan and my wife, I'm like, doing shows really is therapeutic for me.
Yeah, like I said before, it's my outlet.
Your escape, yeah.
It's.
And you have a freaking gnarly good mustache tonight, man. It's on. Jason?
I would say you need to just pull the trigger, keep putting it off. And you don't need to spend a pile of money to get started. Start out slow, because what if you decide it's not for you? Then you got all this money invested. Start out with your phone, start out, even now, I still just have a little, I think it was a $50 microphone, and I got, a Logitech little wee camera, nothing big, and it works fine. And tonight I'm just on my phone.
Yeah.
Just start out small. And, now if you want to make videos, you're going to, need to edit and things like that. But if you're going to do live streams, go back and look at some of our first ones, compared to what we're doing now, compared to what Scott has done with our intros and everything like that.
I'm always impressed with the intros because they're always different. They're always like, yeah, he does a really good job.
Yeah, and the slideshows. I mean, he messes up once in a while. He'll mistype a word or something, but that happens.
I'll tell everybody about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You'll say, "Oh, I misspelled that one," or "Oh, I think that's 2 ounces, not 4."
Dude, if it wasn't for spell check, everything would have been misspelled for me.
But yeah, you just got to start out slow. But if you want to get into it to be monetized and all that stuff, you got to start out slow. But if you want to get to that point, you need to be consistent. Is
Consistency
is
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 love
is the
that.
key.
Mhm.
Consistent.
Yeah, they're just talking about how the community allows us to be able to talk to each other, and it's definitely uh, therapeutic that way. Uh, what's her name? Melissa had a question, and she wants to know: do you guys advertise your show?
Um, pretty much the only advertising we do is Instagram and Facebook. We have some people who share it out. Um,
Not paid though. We don't do paid advertising.
Yeah.
no, um, no, we really don't. Um, we spend enough for the tools that we use to do our show,
Mm-hmm.
so we try not to spend more than that.
Nope, I like it. Yeah. What's your future plans for Bearded Respect? I just keep going the way you are. Or are there any like super huge, amazing news you want to share with us?
Uh, no, nothing in particular. Just keep going and doing what we're doing. Long as we're having fun doing it, that's what matters.
Yeah, and you
Yep.
guys are having fun. You know, you can tell you guys are having fun. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, lastly, what is like the one thing as you're growing and as you're continually having some amazing guests? Like every week, you have some amazing guests. Like I really liked Kerry and his wife last night. You've had some like Nick on. You have all these amazing guests that are education, smart, wise, all this kind of stuff. What do you hope that your listeners, people in the chat, get from each episode? What do you want their
Just,
takeaways to be?
just learning something new each week. You know, learning a new technique, a new organization, a new anything. Like everyone is unique. Just learning about each other, basically.
I love that.
Yeah, to try to, to bring whoever we have on, whether it be a company owner or content creator, just to try to give, like I kind of said earlier, especially with the smaller, lesser known brands, just trying to make other people aware to check this show out or to, check this company out if they haven't. Because some of these companies haven't been tried. And then when you do, you're like, oh, wow, this is fantastic. Uh, yeah, so to bring awareness, you know,
Yeah, that's what I
for
was saying yesterday on Stubble to Style. It's just like you have all these wonderful people who don't know any better. They'll go and buy. Yeah, I'm eating my multis today. Um, don't know any better. They'll go buy on Amazon or they'll go to a store and buy something that has massive amount of preservatives, things that necessarily aren't really that great for your skin and your beard, and they don't know any better. And that's why I was telling everyone yesterday. I'm like, how do we get people to understand that there's more than what they know? And how do we educate them that hey, you use butter this way, you use balm this way, you use oil this way, shampoo and conditioner are different than what you're using right now, And I think what we do is continue with the grind, and I love that. I like what you just said, Jason.
yeah, I get a chuckle when, Dan Seal put a story up about a comment of somebody saying, be a man, you don't need this stuff or that stuff. Or Robert, sometimes Robert, he posts stuff,
Oh yeah,
about people cutting on his beard and you don't need to use that stuff. Get educated, man. I mean, get out in the real world and see what things are about. Quit trying to be macho. I mean, it's not feminine to take care of yourself, you know.
Mm-mm.
no,
No,
not at all.
I think women think it's more manly to do so.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah,
take care of yourself. not
Yeah.
let yourself go.
Yep.
Awesome. Scott?
I don't know.
If you don't have anything, that's okay. You don't have to come up with something. But that's all kind of the questions I have. So if anyone in the chat has any more questions for them, that'd be wonderful. But also, do you guys have any last words that you would like to offer? Where they can find you, what time they can find you, your social media pages, all that kind of stuff.
Well, the Beard Respect, we're on every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We have a Facebook club, and
I
we're on
didn't know that.
Instagram. So yeah, and we're trying to get to 500.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube. So share it out if you can. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we
we're
get
trying
there.
to get
What
a
are you
book.
at right now?
We're
456.
yeah, somewhere in there. We're just going to have more features available for us for doing the show after we get to 500. The
We're at
community.
459. 459.
So you got 2 more. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah,
Thank you,
just a
Chris.
few more. Yeah, you can find us on our Facebook group. You can find us on Instagram. YouTube is our primary one. We still do stream on Twitch.
Rumble.
Can you
Rumble,
send me-
not
can you
every
send me
week,
all
but
the
I've been
social
trying to be
media
more
stuff?
better with it.
Can you guys send me all the links and I'll put it in the description on this video?
Yeah, I can send them to you. Otherwise, if you're looking for something for the Bearded Respect, check our campsite in our Instagram bio. That has a lot of our information.
That's cool.
Just how you can connect to us.
Yeah,
yeah,
he'll be following you after this.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bigger.
Well, that's the whole point of this show, is for all of us can learn who you guys are, root for you guys, support you guys, all that kind of stuff. That's the whole point of this. So I appreciate you guys coming on, and yeah. And if you don't have any last words, I'm pretty done. That was my question.
I got one last word. I want to
What?
ask the chat. Okay.
Slurpee.
Is this a Slurpee or a slushy?
A slushy is fine, but that looks like it's from 7-Eleven, which is a Slurpee.
So
No, it's where there's got to be right there. Sheets.
Well, no need to swear.
it's a weed whacker, Jason.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come up too when I said about weed eating the poop.
I'm going to plug my show. If you like coffee, catch me on YouTube as well. Coffee with OIF Brewer. I'm on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
It's a Slurpee.
A
Slurpee
Slurpee.
or a Frozy.
Okay.
It's a Coke. It's a pop.
See, I thought it was a 7-Eleven. I really thought it was a Slurpee. I thought that looked like a 7-Eleven. But see, we don't have sheets here. So
we don't use
now the other thing is like the little polar bear guy. That's an icy.
Yeah,
ICEE.
Yeah.
What's the one
land.
that's the other one? That's here really popular. It starts with an F. Febreze? No, that's a scent.
Oh,
I
know what you're talking about.
What is that called? Anyway, I love those. They have a root beer one. So good.
It's like Free Breeze.
It's something, right?
It's like a milkshake, right? It's like a. Isn't it like a milkshake?
Oh,
No.
the milkshake machine.
No, I'm not talking about it. It's right
Yeah.
next to it, and they usually come in a mixer, and it mixes it and makes it cold and icy. It's
yeah.
different than an icy, but it's the same.
It is, and here's my terminology for it.
Oh boy.
That's like, I mean, I call them slushies too, but they're more like little wee ice chunks.
Yes, and
Okay.
I love it.
Where these, I describe it as more fluffy. These are fluffy. okay, like a slushy or Slurpee, they're just more fluffy. Where them other things are like
Like a
real
bubble
little
tea.
wee.
I
I don't
I
know.
I
I
like
never
the
had a
more
bubble tea.
condensed because I think you're absolutely. I don't like the fluffiness of the slushies. I like the dense of the ice.
See, our sheets has that too, and they had different flavors. But the thing with them is you drink it before it kind of melts, and then you're left with just a big thing of ice,
But I
left
love it.
because you
It's my favorite thing.
see. I used to get they had a straight lemonade, so I'd get a lemonade icy, big icy like slushy thing. And then I'd buy a Minute Maid lemonade bottle of Minute Maid lemonade. So then when I drank it, then I'd pour that in it and I'd have more. But yeah,
Oh,
they're just
it's all very
they're,
confusing. Just drink coffee.
it is. Oh no, no, no.
I'm literally going to frazzle.
Oh, frazzle.
Frazzle.
Hmm.
I don't know where I got Febreze, but frazzle.
I don't know. She's got a frozen Febreze.
But if you ever go to Culver's and the concrete shakes, those are good too.
Yeah, those come from Wisconsin.
Do they?
Yes.
Does Culver's really? Nice.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, when you're in Utah
They're everywhere
and
here.
we do this, I'm taking you to. Have you ever been to Burger Bar?
No,
Do you like hamburgers?
I do. Love them.
Do you like just feeling like you're on top of the world because something smells so well?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
no, tastes so well?
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
I'm taking you to Burger Bar. It's amazing. You
I
cry
love
inside
food.
as you eat it.
I love food.
I do too. That's the problem.
Especially meat.
Yes, and I don't think any of you guys have been here during the game nights, but she loves Smarties, and
I knew that.
it sounds like a freaking tornado when she eats them.
Mm.
I'm like, what the crap is like there a hellstorm or something? I'm just opening my wrapper. I'm like, whoa, you're yeah. Anyway, that was a random squirrel moment, but I appreciate you guys for coming on. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you everyone for joining us. And
Yes.
yeah,
Thanks for having us.
no, dude, you guys
Yeah.
are, I love you guys.
Yes.
You know that.
It's always fun with you, Tyson.
Yeah.
Have a great night, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.